You know, we may not have heard the last concerning the vexed issue of interim government arrangement mooted by some dissident groups in our country. You know, the Defense Headquarters has described the call for the installation of an interim government in the country by some Nigerians as illegal and unconstitutional. It says the military, as a reputable institution, does not support illegality and will do everything in its power to defend the constitution of the country. Well, one hopes that the enemies of the state would give us a long, long break. But first, let's share this story with you. Watch this now.
It's another platform for the Nigerian military to give updates on troops' operations across the country.
Also, troops, while on fighting patrol, rescued 2 kidnapped civilians who were earlier abducted by Boko Haram terrorists in Kuburu Luba village in Chibok local government area of Borno State. Also, on 30th March 2023, troops responded to information that terrorists were imposing tax levy at Kulum Mukara village in Gedan local government area of Yobe State and made contact with the terrorists.
He says the recent spike in kidnappings is due to the cash liquidity.
We are aware that before now, the cash squeeze, because if you kidnap anybody and there's no cash to pay, the criminals make use of the fact that you can pay cash. And unfortunately, with the reversal of the instruction of making the cash to be available in the public, I think that is what must have given the criminals the impetus to do what they are doing.
He clears the air on the agitation in certain quarters for the imposition of an interim national government.
It's rather unfortunate. An election has been conducted. And INEC, who is mandated, has announced the president-elect. It's not our responsibility to speak on that issue, but I know that several calls have been made from the presidency that there is nothing like interim national government. So I think people who are just trying to be mischievous, it is unconstitutional, and all of us know that one. The Constitution does not provide for an interim national government. And that is the point that the presidency has been hammering. And so that is the stand. It's not our stand, but that is what the Constitution says.
It's the first time the military authorities will be coming clean on the issue, and they expect it should put paid to the matter. Sifon Asian, TVC News, Abuja.
Majid, it's crazy we still have enemies of the state.
You see,
at this state of our development.
You know, the funny, we were discussing back way before we came in here. It's unfortunate that it's those who came, the party that came third in the election, that is making most of this noise. So now I wonder, Atiku has even relaxed. Atiku and the PDP, they have relaxed. I think the reality is dawning on them. We can imagine some characters abusing a Wole Soyinka because he's told you guys the truth. That, we might not have a clean election, but let us respect our democracy. Let us respect the rule of law. He asked the VP candidate of the Labour Party, Dati Ahmed, and he was saying that he's not going to respect the decision of the Supreme Court, even if the judgment goes against them. Wow. Now, it gives Philip power to his followers to have the temerity to go and call the military to come and take over power. I mean, they went to Army headquarters in Abuja to actually go and invite the military to come and take over. Because I've watched that tape several times. I was like,
trying to reconcile.
Is this a presidential, a vice presidential, and a potential president of Nigeria? Because when you become VP, Jonathan was VP to Yar'Adua and eventually became president. So you have a potential president of Nigeria saying that he would not respect the decision of the court.
That's not an executive statement.
No, of course, I'm not exaggerating. It's on tape.
No, I'm saying that statement is not executive.
Yes.
Any executive
and he
will
said
not make such
he
a
does not recognize that we have a president-elect. So, saying that, and Soyinka now also came, he has been on 2 national TV stations to let him understand that that is fascism. And it's, I mean, it is unbelievable that Trump is having a day in court in America today because of a similar thing. There are still some people in America today who believe that Trump won, but then that should end up in their belly, not for you to come on television and ventilate it. We have a president-elect, elections have been conducted. The next level is for you, if you are disillusioned, if you believe that your eyes are not clear, then go to the Supreme Court, go to the tribunal. The Supreme Court will clear it for you, but not for you to take laws into your hands.
All right. Jide, we have talked a number of times here about politicians who are very bad and sore losers.
Yes.
You know, for them, the thing is about them.
Yes. I'm trying to, because yesterday I talked about the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party. I said I was looking for the result from the polling unit where he voted.
Yeah, in Kaduna.
Yeah. So that is voted at polling unit 021, Tudunwada Ward of Zaria local government. In that election, PDP scored 102 votes to win. APC scored 99 votes. And Dati, in his own polling unit, scored 54 votes. He couldn't even come second in his polling unit.
Polling unit, he came third.
So the retired Buharist, came third in the polling unit where he voted. And they've been going around saying that they won the election. The eating up of the politics, they are the people behind it. When someone goes into a studio and he thinks he has the license to say what he likes and is threatening judges, that was what Soyinka responded to. That this amounts to threatening judges by saying, look, don't come and
try him in on May 29.
You are indirectly saying that if they come, that people could lose their lives and all that. It's even saying that they are facing that our lives are in danger. If you swear in Tinubu, then the military.
He said that's the end of democracy.
That the military, that is an invitation to the military. Now the military have said no, we are not interested. We are not interested in a takeover. We are not interested in what is it called? Interim national government. Because those talking about interim national government, they are actually telling us to embrace military rule, because civilians will not run an interim national government. It is going to be run by the police, by the army in the background. That was what happened with Shonekon.
And they eventually pushed him out.
IBB deliberately left Abacha as defense minister.
Yeah.
And when he was asked, he said he left him so that he would be the one to stabilize the thing, keep the young talks in the army in check. It turned out that the man who was told to keep the young talks in the army in check was the one who actually took power from Shonekon. Shonekon had gone to the UN to say our democracy was on an irreversible journey. He got back and they seized power from him. You know, in a manner that was really condescending, which we are not going to talk about here. But it wasn't as if Shonekon just said, okay, come and take power. They took it from him by force. So the little boys and girls who are talking about bringing the military into power, the military should come and take over power just because they hate the person who has won the election. They don't know what they are talking about. They were in their diapers when some of us were fighting for this democracy, risking our lives.
Some were not even born.
Let's even agree that they were born. They were in their diapers. Because a little boy that will be in his diapers, maybe he can't even talk. He can't explain the things that he sees. So by manner of speaking, they don't even know what they are talking about. It's a good thing for the military to say, yes, this is our position. There's nothing even wrong in the military having a position. So when General Damadamio was saying we don't have a position, the role of the military is to defend the territorial integrity and submit to civilian authority.
Yeah.
So the military understand what the Constitution says. They know that the Constitution places them in their barracks. This is not a time when the Constitution can be set aside. So the military has an obligation to defend democracy, to say no, an election has held. And that's why they didn't listen to the jokers who went to the defense headquarters to say, come and take over power. Take over which power?
They should have been caned.
Hold on quickly.
You know, the police don't, the army, they don't use tear gas.
They don't use.
They don't use. Ordinarily, they should have given them a whiff of what it looks like.
Of pepper spray.
What it looks like to experience tear gas.
But Majid, quickly, let me rub this in. Our man, Date Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of the LP, was in the Federal House 2003 to 2007. That's the House of Reps. Yes. And later as a senator, Kaduna North, 2011 to 2012. So we are not talking about a man who does not know about the Constitution.
So, you didn't finish the story. People, when you get into the Senate, you are supposed to spend 4 years. You said he was there 2011 to 2012. How come when others spent 4 years, he spent 1 year?
I think, was it not the mandate of Sonny that he stole? They took it from him in court.
No. Let's not open that.
No, we have to.
No, Jamil.
This is somebody.
You are the one you provoked the discussion.
See,
because you went there to say he was in the Senate for 1 year or so.
No. Why I went there was because, as a lawmaker,
you are saying that he should know better.
As a federal lawmaker, he should
He's
know
no
better.
longer a federal lawmaker. Maybe he has forgotten.
No. Reps. He was in reps.
So
that's what I said.
Reps.
He's no longer. Maybe he has forgotten what they taught them. The House of Reps.